Money. It's something we use every day, but have you ever stopped to think about where it comes from? How did we get from bartering goods and livestock to credit cards, online banking, and even cryptocurrency? Today, we're diving into the fascinating history and evolution of money, from ancient times to the rise of cryptocurrencies. We'll explore the concept of fiat currency, the gold standard, why we abandoned it, and how crypto could be shaping the future of finance. So, where did it all start? Well, long before there was cash or credit cards, ancient civilizations relied on a system called bartering. People would exchange goods and services directly. For example, if you had extra grain and your neighbor had meat, you'd swap. Simple, right? But bartering had its issues. Imagine trying to trade a cow for a loaf of bread. How do you split that cow? To solve this, early societies began using commodity money. These were physical items that everyone agreed had value, like cattle, grain, or even shells. But the real breakthrough came with the invention of metal coins, specifically gold, silver, and copper. These metals were durable, easily divisible, and most importantly, widely accepted. Ancient kingdoms like Lydia, in what is now Turkey, were among the first to mint standardized coins, making trade more efficient. Okay, so metal coins worked well for a long time. But as economies grew, carrying around heavy bags of gold or silver wasn't exactly practical. This is where fiat money comes into play. Fiat money is any currency that has value because the government says it does, not because it's backed by a physical commodity like gold. Paper money, which originated in China during the Tang Dynasty around the 7th century, was one of the earliest examples of this. It made trade a lot easier, lighter to carry, simpler to store, and could be produced in larger quantities. Sounds good, right? But here's the catch. Fiat money relies entirely on trust. You trust that the paper in your wallet will be accepted by others because the government guarantees its value. Without that trust, fiat money would be just, well, paper. The story doesn't end there. While fiat money grew in popularity, governments still needed a way to keep their currencies stable. Enter the gold standard. By the 19th century, many countries tied the value of their currencies directly to gold. This meant you could, in theory, take your paper money to a bank and exchange it for a fixed amount of gold. The gold standard provided stability because it limited how much money could be printed. After all, governments could only issue money if they had enough gold in their reserves. This system lasted for about a century and was seen as a way to prevent inflation and keep the economy in check. But while it sounds great on paper, pun intended, the gold standard had its issues. For one, it made it hard for countries to react quickly to economic crises. During wars or recessions, governments couldn't just print more money to stimulate the economy because they were limited by their gold reserves. So, when did the gold standard end? The short answer, during the 20th century. The long answer? Well, it's a bit more complicated. World War I was the first big blow to the gold standard. Countries needed to finance the war, so they suspended the standard and started printing more money. After the war, attempts were made to return to it, but the Great Depression and World War II created massive financial strain.
Then in 1971, President Richard Nixon officially ended the gold standard in the United States. This is known as the Nixon shock. By that time, it had become clear that the global economy had outgrown the system. Countries needed more flexibility, and fiat money, without gold backing, became the norm around the world. From that point on, the value of money was determined by government policies, economic factors, and, let's be honest, how much trust people had in their currencies. Which brings us to the digital age, and perhaps the most exciting chapter in the history of money: cryptocurrencies. In 2009, an anonymous person or group known as Satoshi Nakamoto introduced Bitcoin, the first decentralized cryptocurrency. What made Bitcoin different from traditional fiat money was that it wasn't controlled by any government or central authority. Instead, it ran on blockchain technology, a decentralized network of computers that verified transactions in a transparent, secure way. Think of the blockchain as a public ledger that everyone can see, but no one can alter. It ensures that Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies can't be double spent, forged, or inflated. Over the years, Bitcoin gained popularity as a digital asset, and more cryptocurrencies, like Ethereum, Ripple, and thousands of others, were developed. But why do they matter? Well, cryptos represent a new kind of money, one that isn't tied to any government and is designed to be global, decentralized, and accessible. Cryptocurrencies are especially important in places where trust in the government or financial systems is low. Think of countries experiencing hyperinflation, where their local currency becomes worthless. In these cases, digital currencies like Bitcoin offer an alternative store of value. And that's the story of money, from ancient coins to crypto. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into the world of finance, technology, and beyond. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.